Hello. The issue of genocide in Nigeria against Christians is generating a lot of furor. It's generating a lot of arguments and debates to the point that professional liar Reno Mokri had to invite an American diplomat, a former mayor, to Nigeria to come and do image laundering for the Nigerian government. To prove to the world that there is nothing like Christian genocide in Nigeria. Now, the man came with his team for a fact-finding mission and they refused Omokri to put words in his mouth and accused Omokri to being a professional and pathological liar. In fact, he came short of asserting that Omokri lies for a living. And I've seen some people saying that Reno Mokri is anywhere below face. So he is with this government today and against the man, that will be in the next government tomorrow. And once that person is in the government, will find a way to come in order to receive his pay. Of course, remuneration in a very corrupt and evil way is part of our system in Nigeria, isn't it? So man must work. That is the game that Omokri is playing. Now, but apart from him, Khan, PFN have done themselves a very big disservice. I understand that everybody will reap what they sowed, whether we like it or not. Now, but a certain Bishop ABIOYE is so irked that he labeled Bishop wicked people. These people, including Bishop, wicked people. I would like you to watch the video and listen. I have an opinion at the end of the video. Now, don't just stop here. Please wait for the little thing I will say at the end of this video. God bless you. Apart from Bishop, there are other people that spoke in the video, and I bet you will love it. God bless you. See you at the end of the video.
There's a lot of distortion going on. People claiming that there is no genocide of Christians in the nation. Information with facts can never be thwarted. You see people buried in hundreds and you say there's no genocide. What a wicked set of people. Agreed, there are people killed in other places for other reasons, but this one is very clear, and gradually is eating down to the south, southwest, southeast, and many so-called leaders for their personal interests are claiming it's not true, selling out their faith if they have it at all. Jesus said, when I come, will I find the faith? And we are standing here to say to Jesus, the faith will keep standing. Raise your voice in a few seconds. Father, strengthen the brethren, strengthen the faith.
I'm Kanchan Mangu local government. I'm here to report the situation in Mangu local government to the whole world to understand what is happening in Mangu at this particular point in time. The military are the ones sending our people away to allow the militia to burn their houses. At this particular point in time, they have sent every Christian away from the new market, and thereby leaving the Muslim to go and burn their houses. They set the curfew. The curfew only restricted to only people within Mangu, within the Christian domain. But in the Muslim domain, they are free to move and do whatever they wanted to do. And not only that, the military has killed 3 of our young men, in which I know one is before my own church. They killed one yesterday. And I reported to the security. He said that it was a fake soldier. At first, he said I was lying. Until I proved to him beyond reasonable doubt. Then finally he said it was a fake soldier. I said no, it's not a fake soldier. It's a real soldier who killed him. Soldier not soldier. I said no, it's a soldier that killed him. Finally, they made signal to the soldier and he disappeared from the scene. This thing go on and on. Now that I'm speaking to you, all of them are switched off their phone and they allow the place to be burned down and raised by the people. And this is what is going on even now that I'm speaking to you. People around Gindri Junction, down from this side, Lagir side, down there. Their houses are now at place because the soldiers protected them and they allowed them to burn people's houses. They are not doing anything about it. So we in Mongol local government, as far as Christian is concerned, we don't want the military in Mongol local government. They should pack at their load and go. We don't want them. We don't need them and we don't want them because it's a plan. They have been bought. They have been paid with the price to carry out their duty, what they are doing. So that reason I'm saying, and I'm calling the whole world to understand that this thing should stop, and people should come to our rescue to save us. If not, that is an evil plan for them to destroy Mongol local government, because the governor is from here, and we are not going to allow it. We are going to fight with less of the Babylon. They say they kill us all. The military should keep on killing us. We are accepting to kill us, but we are not going to stop. We are going to penetrate. I will say personally, I organize the whole Christian in Mongol government. We are going to fight. We are not going to stop, and that is what I said. If this does not stop, we are going to call a meeting for pastors, and we are going to make an arrangement for that, because that is enough is enough. We have tried all to make a peaceful living. We have cried and make cry, but the government is not listening. If they switch on their phone, where they should take our cry to? That's my plea. Thank you.
Take that hospital. That hospital, there are girls that were taking care, the Fulani girls. There are Christian girls that are taking care of their beloved ones. The Fulani girls are also there, so they were all mingling together. Everybody was after his own, caring for the admitted ones. The mother of the other girl that was admitted, she was there. But when the Fulani terrorists came in the night and robbed the hospital, they kidnapped 2 people. All of them are Christian girls. They raped them. One escaped. Near the mountains that is behind me, the rocks that are here, they released them around 12 midnight. They have to scroll in pain, crying. They resurfaced in the hospital again. The nurses that were on duty, they took over. Even as the time that I came the following day, there was still blood stain on their clothes. After they removed, they put another one, blood was still rushing. This is the life of Christian in Nigeria among the Fulani terrorists, the Islamic terrorists. Now, we just brought this token so that it will pass across with the donation that we have received from different parts. We'll continue to be faithful to give this one on behalf of the daughter, and we give God the glory. Baba, I'm giving you this token of faith. Let the power of Jesus guide you. I know you have passed through pain.
Another 14 Christians have been ruthlessly gunned down in the ongoing genocide in Nigeria. Truth Nigeria's Masara Kim joins us now. But before we get to you, my friend, you just sent me a video of a mass burial. You took this video. Let's take a look. Now, Masara, we just did a video about these people last week. You're back on again. This just keeps happening. What happened with these 14 people?
Yeah, so yesterday, by way of summary, these residents, actually a vehicle conveying 20 villagers, Christian villagers, en route from a market town 45 miles south of Jos, the capital of Plateau State, to a small village on the west of the Bocos County was ambushed by terrorists who were shouting Allahu Akbar and speaking the Fulani dialect, according to survivors. And eventually, I mean, incidentally, 14 of the occupants of that vehicle were killed instantly, and they included children of ages 3 to 5. And of course, the majority of them have shared, clips from that incident. The pictures from that incident are not good for the screen. They might not be good to broadcast, but it is also important to understand the very barbaric nature in which these attacks have been carried out, and the way continually innocent citizens whose only offense is being a Christian are being slaughtered on a daily basis. You talked about the mass burial that happened today. It was the burial of 27 people that were killed on July the 15th, some 15 miles south west of Jos, the capital of Plateau State. And we did talk about that, how babies, including a 3-year-old, actually, there were 11 children from between the ages of 3 months old and 7 years old that were killed alongside those 27. And apparently, the attacks have not ended. The attacks do not even show any sign of receding or ending at all. Yesterday, we had a press conference, highlighting the situation, the escalating situation in Nigeria, the persecution of Christians in Nigeria in Washington, D.C. And in that press conference, we premiered a video. The press conference was organized by Equipping the Persecuted, which has boots on the ground and is helping lots of, thousands of survivors of terror attacks, Christian persecution in Nigeria. And we premiered a groundbreaking documentary on the ongoing persecution of Christians in Nigeria, specifically highlighting the massacre of more than 280 Christians that were chiefly burned in makeshift shelters, chiefly stores that were provided as makeshift shelters for these people who had fled previous terror attacks from the surrounding communities to seek shelter, pending when the situation, stabilizes in their communities, or the government provides recognized or more inhabitable shelters for them. But eventually, they were attacked and burned in those stores. And so we did a documentary, premiered it, but as we ended that press conference, which was attended by rights groups and congressmen, including Chris Smith, there was shooting just 45 miles south of Jos. And this time around, it happened in my village. Where it happened, is my village. And the scene of the incident was exactly the same scene of a brutal murder of more than 60 people on Christmas Eve 2 years ago. You might have heard about the murder of more than 250 Christians in 2023 from the eve of Christmas, lasting up to about 6 days, the following 6 days. Of those 250 plus that were killed, more than 60 were trapped in a stream where they had escaped and were seeking shelter. And they were literally hacked down. They were chopped with machetes like ladyfinger or vegetable, and they were abandoned. The river was just left flowing with the blood of human beings. It was a dry river, but this time around it was flooding with the blood of these innocent victims who were chiefly, in fact, they were 100%, just to be for the safe side, 85 to 95% women and children. And I spoke to one of the survivors, and she told me that those that attacked her and her children alone were more than 50, aside from others who teamed up, who swarmed other escapees that were seeking shelter or ducking for cover in this stream. Now, yesterday they went for to carry out. Just to buy some small, little food items for their families. And while they were returning, they were ambushed by these terrorists who, by the way, went further to launch a mass attack on the community. The name of the community is Mangor, spelled Mangor. Now, after killing those 14 people on the road to the village, they went further, mobilized this time around in larger numbers, and invaded that community. If not for the swift response of the local civilian volunteers, whose efforts were later bolstered by a small army unit, I think that this time around, by this time, we would have been talking about more than 400 or 500 people that would have been massacred.
Well, Masara, you have you sent me photos, and obviously we can't share them on YouTube because YouTube would take it down, understandably so. But let me tell you, um, from an American perspective, my phone is full of photos you sent me, other reporters at Truth Nigeria sent me, Frank and Uto, and it's the most graphic, horrific thing I've ever seen. These. I just want you to know that if you're watching this, myself, my editor, we've had to look at all of these, and they're very real. They're unbelievably barbaric. It's sick. It's demonic. We can kind of show some blurred images, but these are real people. And Masara, I can feel your frustration. It's almost like we do one of these videos every 3 or 4 days. And personally, we've been talking about this story in Nigeria. There's a genocide happening against the Druze in Syria, but man, that old saying, "No Jews, no news." The world just doesn't seem to care. The UN just doesn't seem to care. But I know that the CBN audience cares, and know that we are doing everything we could possibly do. We are praying for you. We love you. You're not alone in this. And if nothing else, we're going to continue to shine a light on the evil darkness that is happening in your country, because we believe the name of Yeshua is stronger than anything else. But as for now, Masara Kim, I thank you. And again, I pray peace over your family and your community. I pray that we don't have to do this again. But as for now, Masara Kim, thank you so much.
Thank you, Raj, and thank you to CBN for always giving me a voice.
So now you may say that he didn't mention anybody's name. Right, he didn't mention anybody's name. And I didn't tell you what Waleoke said. And so we're going to tell you what Waleoke said. And then you put it in that bracket of Bishop saying that some people are saying that it is not a Christian genocide. What are we even saying? Now you ask yourself, who are the persons doing the killings? Islamic jihadists. Now, is it possible that along the line that some Muslims will be killed also? Of course, very well. Now, but if you want to tell yourself the truth, take the census of the number of churches that have been burnt, invaded on a Sunday service morning, people killed, their churches burnt. Tell me, for every 10 churches that have been burnt, how many mosques have been invaded and burnt in that way? So if the perpetrators and killers are Muslims, it is obvious that the jihad is not against themselves. But there is a possibility that they could also eliminate some of the Muslims that they consider to be, keferi, unbelievers, infidels. They are not as radicalized as they themselves. So it's possible. But then, all right, even in the West, a few years ago, a Catholic church in Owo, Ondo State, was invaded and attacked, and about 50 persons were killed on the spot. Now, I won't blame people like Reno Mokri, because he has not watched in horror and maybe seeing his son or daughter macheted, or bullet piercing the brain, the head, and splattering the brain of his own child, of his own son, or his sister, brother, wife, somebody close to him. If that has happened to all these people that are claiming that it is not a Christian genocide, I bet you they would sing a different tune. I'm not praying for that to happen to them, but is it not better, is it not good that you say the truth? Because knowing the truth, applying the truth and saying the truth brings deliverance, right? So in a bid to be politically correct and not to offend anybody, here was what the PFN president, he is the bishop in this matter, that I said. That is why I put the title, because he was among those, that is denying the fact that there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. Now, I'll read to you what Bishop Wale Oke said as he granted an interview. This I got from Daily Punch, or Sahara Reporters, copied from Daily Punch. So I'm reporting from Sahara Reporters. A very few quotes of what Bishop Wale Oke said. PFN President Wale Oke said genocide exists in Nigeria, but not only about Christians. That is the title. Our position is that genocide exists, but it is not just about Christians. Our concern is that whether Muslim or Christian, stop the killing. That is our priority. Now, hold on. We don't want Muslims to die and we don't want Christians to die. We don't want a situation where there is genocide against Christians today and then it stops, only for there to be a genocide against Muslims tomorrow. What we want is a situation where genocide is stopped entirely, whether among Muslims or Christians, Wale Oke stated. Now, does it even make sense? In his statement, he acknowledges that there is a genocide. And by saying that they don't want the situation whereby it is the Christians that are being killed today, when it ends, then it will be Muslims tomorrow. Indirectly, he accepts that there is actually, an attempt to wipe out, if not entirely, to reduce the population of those that are not adherents of the Islamic faith in Nigeria. Now, why not talk about the one that is happening today and wait for tomorrow to come? Because that possibility of Muslims being killed tomorrow, the way Christians are being killed today, it may not come, because Christians cannot take up arms, machetes and guns to invade the Islamic communities and begin to kill Muslims. Now, all these are in a bid to stand in the middle. You are not towards the left, you are not towards the right. And sometimes I question the conscience of some of these leaders, people in church that are religious leaders, that cannot, for the sake of the Christ that they proclaim to preach, stand and say the truth at whatever cost. These people are big people, they are big men, they are rich people, they have connections as well. I read somebody on that, a certain comment saying that Wale Oke would not want to speak against the government of his tribesman. I don't really want to believe that, because I'm so detribalized. I don't understand that, but it is a possibility. It is a possibility. I wonder what he would have said if Tinubu was not the president of Nigeria and people are being killed. Well, anyway, even till yesterday, they haven't said anything. Khan has not said anything meaningful that will make the government to think about this. All they do is to sit and fold their hands and allow the killing spree to continue. All right? Now, because, some of the kickbacks I really don't do. Some of the favors that they get from the government of the day may stop. And some of them fear being arrested. If preachers, leaders of the people cannot speak for the people, let's even stop talking about. Did you see that man, that pastor that said he will organize people? Now, that is a leader of the people. That is the kind of the leadership that the church needs in Nigeria. But where are they? They are all, hiding, and they're not saying anything. When we talk here, some of their lackeys will come and say, well, is that why they are called? It's not that why they are called. Some of you, some hypocrites will say that John the Baptist wouldn't have died if he had not gone to challenge Herod. Who told you? His mission has finished. His mission has finished. And even though he didn't know that his mission has finished, one thing must kill a man. One thing must kill a man. So, where are the John the Baptist of today? They have big platforms. They have big names, titles. Look at what a bishop is saying. I've spoken about Reno or more, whatever. His name sound like mockery. So I don't really know. I've not seen a person that is as shameless and as irresponsible as that politician. I've not seen. But take him aside, a PFN president saying this, that there is genocide, but not about Christians. Because his own church has not been invaded. His own church has not been invaded. He has not lost a beloved person in the process. I mean, in this terror that is happening. So it is easy to say so. We separate ourselves from reality and thinking that it is normal, it is okay, it is well, it doesn't concern us. Well, anyway, that is my own opinion. I just want to know your own thoughts. You think they are right, or you think Bishop Abioye exaggerated things? Note, he didn't call names, but the umbrella statements, his umbrella quotes, added Bishop Waleoke to that. So, what does that mean? Everyone that is denying the fact that Christians are being killed in their thousands is an evil person, is a wicked person. And so the bishop, to my own opinion, was right and correct. Thank you, and God bless you. See you in the next video. Till then, from me to you, shalom.